Maybe and for New Year's, and for big day, and my birthday, and every day. Yes, all right, let's go. I see the Also Happy and Grateful Now's coming in. Let's go ahead and start at the top. For those that don't know, my name is Javon Hutchison. If you're brand new, welcome to the family. We like to start these calls with what we're happy and grateful now for, because you want to start every morning with an attitude of gratitude. And I'm just going to kind of skim through these happy and grateful. We got I'm so happy and grateful now for being in the right information, for having access to create life-changing income and wealth for my family and every person that I meet. I'm happy and grateful now for supernatural increase within Retired 365, for this family, for the great profits that I made this week, for miraculous opportunity, happy and excited to change lives forever. I'm happy and grateful now for waking up to another beautiful day. We got some good ones. Keep them coming in. Keep the I'm so happy and grateful nows coming in. I love reading those each and every single morning. I hope you guys are reading them and just getting something from that, and I hope you're waking up and writing them, right? I hope you're writing something that you're grateful for every day. I hope you're speaking your affirmation, speaking what you want to see, right? We talked about this on Monday, right? Or actually we talked about it on Tuesday. Not saying what it is you think you can have, but saying what you actually want. You know, we get so bogged down into what we believe that we deserve, what we believe we can have, that we never go after what we really want in life. And the reality is, if you're not going after what you really want, what's the point, right? If you're not going after what you really want, then what's the point of this whole thing, right? I heard this saying, without knowledge, action is useless, right? Without knowledge, your action is useless. But knowledge without action is also useless, right? Without knowledge, action is useless, and knowledge without action is also useless, right? So you need to get some type of knowledge, right, to make your action go in the right direction. But if you have a bunch of knowledge and you don't do any action, what was the point in gaining that knowledge? So many times people come in, they say, look, I need to learn this. I need to do that. I need to become a master trader, a master. I need to have some results. I need to do, whatever that thing is, right? And yes, that knowledge without action, action without knowledge can be useless if you're not going in the right direction. But oftentimes, right? And I said it backwards. Action without knowledge can be useless. Let me get the exact quote. Why did I miss? There we go. Without knowledge, action is useless, and knowledge without action is futile. That was the right quote. Knowledge without action is futile. That's the ending. Because if you have knowledge, right? Some people come in, they want to learn everything, they want to get all the information, but then they take no action on that information. They don't take the trades, they don't practice the proper risk, they don't go in and do what's necessary to actually get a result from that knowledge that they've gained. But then you have individuals that say, well, I need all the knowledge to take action. And that's also not true. The only knowledge that you need to take action is the knowledge of which direction to go. And honestly, any direction is the right direction when you get started, because you want to go ahead and be moving. But you have guidance where we are. It's this quote, working 8 hours a day, and it's not even a quote, it's more a saying, working 8 hours a day is only for survival. Who are the only people that work 8 hours a day? People that work jobs, right? If you work a job, that's the only people that work about 8 to 10 hours a day. Every hour over that 9 to 5, whatever those hours that you might work your regular job, that's an investment into your future and your future success, right? Every hour that you work past that 8 is an hour that you're putting in towards your future success. It's like throwing seeds in the ground. The more seeds you plant, right? For every seed that we plant, what happens? One seed can bring up an entire tree of fruit, but you got to plant a lot of seeds. You don't plant one seed hoping a whole tree grows, right? No, you plant seeds because you only need a small percentage of the seeds to grow for you to get the harvest, but you're not going to plant just one seed. That's not, that's not very smart, right? And when you really think about it, right? When you really, really think about it, what is the market going to do? Whether we're talking about the trading markets, whether we're talking about the world, it's only going to give you in return to what you give it. So if you give excellent performance, if you go out there, if you lay it all on the line, if you go out there and you put in the work that's necessary to get the return it is that you want, then what's going to happen is you're going to get above average results, right? Excellent performance equals above average rewards. But if you're giving below average performance on a day-to-day basis, if you're not doing all that you can, if you're not doing what you know that you're capable of doing, then you're going to get below average results, and you're going to be sitting there wondering, why isn't it working, right? Why are things not happening for me, right? You know, you feel really, really good about yourself the more you go out there and do good things. And that's in anything. I don't care if you're at the job that you don't like. If you get an assignment and you put your all into that work, nobody can tell you anything about that assignment, right? Like, you know that you took hold of that project, right? Some people treat projects that they get at work like it's their baby. You ever been somewhere and I you like, maybe back when the malls were open, I don't know if people still go to the malls. You're in the mall or you're somewhere and you see the mall cop doing, you know, no offense to any mall cops on here, but you see the mall cop going like really hard about something small inside of the mall, right? And everybody will look, especially when you're younger, you're looking at like, man, you a mall cop, like chill out. Like, it ain't that serious. You're not gonna get fired because this person decided to walk kind of fast in the mall. No running in here. They gonna chase you down. They gonna do everything in their power, right? But then you got the chill person that's like, you know, hey, slow down, like chill out, right? But one person is taking their responsibility super serious. But honestly, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, right? Like, they're really taking hold of that title that they were given because they're doing the best of their ability, right? Because maybe they want to get a raise. I don't know what they might be wanting to do in those times, but you got to take your work as if, think of it like this. Think about your work as if somebody was to come by, right? And they said, I really like what you did. I will pay you millions of dollars for it. Every time you do anything, right? When you want to do anything, you want to do it with excellence, but you also don't want to stay somewhere. You don't want to be in a place where you feel like, I hate it here. Because think about when we're doing our presentation, right? What's one of the first things that we talk about in the beginning? 85% of people truly don't feel happy or fulfilled at their current job, and they dread waking up every single day. And what happens when you're not happy or fulfilled, right? Your confidence, your self-worth, your happiness, your life, all of those things, relationships can all suffer, right? So if you know that, why would you put your all into a place where you don't feel happy or fulfilled? Why not put that energy when you get off into those after 8 hours, right? Into those investment hours that's going to be going towards your future, that's going to help you get off the place that you don't want to be in the first place, right? We all know that to get anything in life, you know, I always talk about the WAC formula, right? You got to be willing, you got to be able, you got to be confident, you got to be consistent with whatever you do. But you also got to be able to really concentrate. You got to be able to concentrate on what it is and focus on the thing that you really want, right? We always hear about the 80-20 rule, right? The 80-20 rule. You want to spend 80% of your time on the top 20% of the things that need to get done. But what happens to most people, right? What happens to most people? If you made a list of all the important things that you need to do for the day, right? If you wrote out everything that you need to get done, everything that has to get done on today, most people will write that list. They'll categorize the top 20% and they'll start at the bottom. They'll say, I know I need to get all of this done. I know I want to retire my mom. I know I want to retire my dad. I know I want to retire my husband. I know I want to retire my wife. I know I want to retire myself. I know that I want to get off this job. I know that I got to pay these bills. I know that all this needs to get taken care of. I know I no longer want to be in debt. But then they'll start at the bottom of the list and say, yeah, you know what? Let me go take the trash out. let let me go clean that thing that I've been neglecting for a while. That door handle's been really shaky for a while. Let me go fix the door handle, because you can't have a shaky door handle, right? Like you can't have that in your house. But you just said that you don't want to live here in the first place. You just said that this wasn't your priority. So they will turn their attention to everything other than the top 20%, right? But the top 20%, when you focus on the top 20%, you're gonna take care of the other 80% eventually. Because at the end of the day, we all know that there is literally never enough time in a day. Like, there's never gonna be enough time in a day to do all the things. So start with the important things, right? Start with the things that are gonna get you somewhere. Start with the things that are gonna put you in a position to get the things done that you said that you want to get done, right? Whether that's the business, whether that's trading, whether that's studying, right? Whether that's picking up the phone. Hey, one of the chairmen, they said you should be picking up the phone more than you should be clicking that button to trade. You should be picking up the phone more than you should be clicking that button to trade, because if you're clicking the button to trade that much, that means you need to be picking up the phone because you don't have enough money in your trade account. Because the people that got the money in their trade account ain't clicking the button as many times as you clicking the button to trade. So if you want to be like the people that's trading with the thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars, then you got to pick up the phone so you can be in position to go ahead and click the button less on that trade account, right? We got to stop focusing on what's fun and easy. That's what most people do. But successful people, and we know that we want to be successful, right? We are successful. So in order to be successful, we got to focus on the things that successful people focus on, which is the top 20% of the things that need to get done, right? And I heard this from an audio. It says, my favorite time management question, the gentleman, I can't think of his name. I got to go back and look at it. But he said, my favorite time management question is this. He said, always ask yourself this question. What is the most valuable use of my time right now? I want everybody to write that down, right? Write it down on a sheet of paper, write it down somewhere, and commit this to memory. What is the most valuable use of my time right now? And I want you to ask yourself that question over and over and over and over again until it's driven into your subconscious mind, right? And then you can start to use it as a command, right? It'll become a command. Think about things that are just automatic. Like when you get in your car, it's automatic for you to close the door. It's automatic for you to put your seatbelt on. It's automatic for you to hit start. You don't have to think about that. It's something that comes naturally, right? So you want to get to the point that that question is automatic, right? It's on demand, that you're just saying, okay, what's the most valuable use of my time right now? Ask yourself that every hour. See how your day starts to change, right? See how your day starts to change when you're thinking about what is the most valuable use of my time right now. When you feel like you're going off the rails, when you feel like you're not doing, or you don't got to feel like it, check on yourself every hour, right? Did I make enough calls today? Did I make any calls today? Did I prospect, right? Did I study? Did I spend my hour inside the academy? Did I hop on a go live session? What did I do? What's an IPA that I did today for my life, for my future, right? And if you ask yourself that every hour, it's going to eliminate, let me sit down and watch TV. Because you're going to sit down and watch TV, it's going to be the top of the hour. You're going to say, what's the best use of my time right now? I guarantee you it's not going to be watching that TV show, watching that movie, watching whatever that thing might be, right? Because if you ask yourself that, now you're going to start switching when those small irrelevant things come around, and you'll be able to override your system, and it's going to push you into doing things that are most valuable for you and your goals. You're going to start to think of ways that you can accomplish what it is you said you wanted to accomplish in the first place, right? How many people just thinking right now, I know I can't ask myself that question because I know about 30 times out of the day, the answer is going to be, something other than what I'm doing right now. Something other than what I'm doing right now. But you got to feel that sense of urgency for accomplishing what it is that you want to accomplish. There's no such thing as it's going to get done tomorrow. It's going to get done, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know who's going to be here, who's not going to be here. You never know what can possibly happen in your life where you're not going to be able to accomplish what it is you say you're going to accomplish. You never know what's going to take your focus away from what it is you intended to focus on. Yeah, you're focusing on fixing that doorknob right now, but you don't know that tomorrow something actually important is going to happen, and you're still not going to be, because you're putting it off because you want to do the easy thing. So now when something real comes up, oh no, I have to do this. Well, you didn't have to fix that door. You didn't have to, whatever that thing was, right? But now when something that you have to do comes up, you don't have the time. And then tomorrow, what's going to happen? You're going to go back to focusing on that 80% instead of the 20% again. And now it's a week later, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, you still haven't finished the top thing that was on your to-do list, right? So I want you to think about this, right? How do you feel when somebody operates with urgency? When a company, when just anybody in business, when they operate with urgency, right? That usually makes you feel pretty good. It makes you feel like they have a really good system going, right, Amber? It makes you feel important, right? But if you go to any industry, there's only going to be about 20%, 80-20 rule. Only about 20% of the companies in any industry are going to be making 80% of the entire profits of that industry, right? So if we know that, even in the industry we're in, only about 20% of individuals, 20% of people that come through this are going to make 80% of the money, right? Now, why is that? Because only about 20% of people are going to be operating with that urgency. Only a very small percent of people are going to go out there and go above and beyond. Think about it. If I call Apple, right? And I'm just going to use Apple because y'all know I love iPhone. If I call Apple with a problem with my phone, you know what's going to happen? Whether or not the problem is on their end, they're going to help me find the solution. Like 9 times out of 10, you're going to get somebody on the phone that was trained to help you come up with a solution, even if the problem is not on their end, right? Even if the problem don't got nothing to do with the app, it don't got nothing to do with anything that on their side, it could be something completely different. Let's see how we can help you. Let me see if I can walk you through it on the phone. If you in a store, well, let's sit down. Let's make sure you understand what it is that you're doing. And hopefully you won't have this problem again, even if it's not their problem, right? They go the distance to help with your concern. But then there's other companies out there that they don't care. You might send them a support email. You might pick up the phone and call them, and you get voicemail. You send an email, you don't get responded to for 2, 3, 4 weeks. How do you feel now? That's not a company that I'm going to necessarily, it's not that they bad, but I'm not necessarily going to be the first to jump when something's wrong, right? Why are those companies not doing as good as the companies with the absolute top support systems? Because they operate with urgency. They know that you're important and you want to be known for getting a reputation to be doing things fast and dependable. What did Bob Proctor say? You want to make decisions fast or not at all. Like, if you can't answer that question, if you can't make a decision on what you want, make a decision on where you're going to spend your time, make a decision on how you're going to be spending your life, you're not ready, right? And it's okay, but get ready now. Not tomorrow, get ready now. Take 30 minutes with yourself, figure out what you really want, and then get ready, right? If you realize that you're not ready for whatever it is that you said that you want, don't wait till you feel like you're going to get ready, because you're never going to get ready. because you're going to consistently be in the state of doing what? Not being ready, right? I want drop some ones in the chat if y'all still here. Drop some ones in the chat if y'all still here. How many times have you had an idea in your life? Like maybe you were driving, maybe you were at home, maybe you were in the shower or something. You thought of something like you was like, this is genius. Like you had that $1 million idea, but you thought, who am I to do that? You thought nobody's gonna take this serious. You thought I don't have enough money to do this. You thought, you didn't think. You thought about it, it came across, and you was like, all right, it's an idea. And then a couple years later, you see that idea somewhere, and you like, I thought of that back in the day. Right. I know some people had thought of something that didn't exist. It wasn't out. But what happened is you didn't take any action on it. Somebody else did. Years later, you see it. Now you're like, wow, I could have been rich. That was such a simple idea, right? Why don't you take action on those ideas? Because you got to a point somewhere in your life where you don't take action. You let things come in, and then you're like, okay, right? Well, now we've all done it at some point, but we got to get rid of the fear, right? You got to do the thing that you fear, and then the death of fear is certain. Do the thing that you fear, and then the death of fear is certain. You can't kill off fear without action. We talked about this before. We've had calls just on fear, right? But fear and courage, those are both habits. You know that? Fear and courage are habits. So if you're afraid today and you give into the fear, you back away from whatever it is you say you want to do. Look, I want to go chairman, right? I want to make $10,000 a month. I want to have a 6-7 figure trade account. That's what you say. That's the courage talking. But then the fear says, I don't want to call that person. I don't want to pick up the phone. I don't think I'm ready. I can't get on Go Live every day. I can't copy and paste the trades because I lost that trade I took yesterday. Right? That's the fear talking. Whichever one you let wins becomes a habit. If you let the fear take over and say, I'm not calling that person, what's going to happen next time you scroll past somebody and you get a similar feeling? Yeah, I'm not going to call that person. Yeah, I'm not going to call that person. Now you've developed a habit of fear and being afraid of what you really want. But if you say, I'm scared, but I'm going to do it anyway. I don't like this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm not necessarily comfortable right now, but I'm going to do it anyway. That fear will eventually disappear because you've challenged yourself. You've pushed yourself past that point. You kept moving forward. So now next time that happens, it'll be a little bit easier to keep moving forward, right? You're going to compound either way. You're either going to compound scaredness, you're going to compound fear, you're going to compound laziness, you're going to compound, I'm not going to do this today. I'll put it off till tomorrow. I'll get it eventually. It'll happen in time. Every time you say it'll happen in time, you're compounding time. And that means it's not going to happen because eventually never happens. Eventually never happens. You got to do it now, right? They said that there's no security in life, only opportunity. But security is what most people think that they want. Yeah, well, I don't want to do this. I just really care about security and I want, this, that, and the third. But there's no security in life. Opportunity is the only security, right? The more you seek security, the less you have it. You know that? The more you seek security, the less you have it. Because if I'm seeking security inside of a job, then I actually don't have security because I know that I could be fired at any time. Because things can happen, right? We heard from Mark yesterday telling us about his situation. There's nothing secure. Right? We chairman is done, bro. There's nothing secure though about relying on somebody else. That's not security, right? And even though it might sound good, because that's what the whole world's doing, like it sounds good, it's not secure. So the more you seek that security, the more you put your time, your effort, your energy into the thing that's supposed to be secure, the less security you have. And not only is it not secure in that way, it's not secure because now you don't have your time. Now you're unhappy. Now you're in that 85% of people who are not happy or fulfilled with what they're currently doing, especially if it's not where you want to be in the first place. So it's not secure in so many different ways. But the more you seek opportunity, the more you're going to have security, because as opportunity presents itself and you take advantage of that opportunity, you're going to create security because you're betting on yourself. Some people have money. Some people have a lot of money in comparison, right? But they won't bet their last dollar on themselves because they want to be secure. They want to be safe. But there's people with literally their last dollar, with negative accounts, with different things going on, but they're going to bet their last dollar on themselves. They're going to go out there, no matter what it looks like on the outside, and they're going to bet on themselves, right? I always go back to track. I didn't care what it looked like. I don't care what school I was competing against. I don't care what was happening on the outside. I don't care what school was out there. Are we racing University of Florida, this, that, the third? It don't matter. I'm betting on our team every single time, and we gonna come out on top. And you gotta bet on yourself. But so many people are so used to betting on everybody else. When the chips are on the table and somebody says you going all in, they're not willing to put it all on themselves, because they don't believe that they can get or they can achieve what it is that they said that they want to achieve, because the only factor in you achieving what you really want is you. That's the only factor, right? Yes, it might take time. Yes, you're going to have to go through things. But if I know that the only thing that's keeping me from my goals is me, it's either you trust yourself or you don't. Point blank, period. Either you do or you don't. If you don't, you got to build up on that, right? How many people can imagine a successful person? Think of any successful person you know right now, right? Drop a 777 in the chat if that successful person has courage. Anybody you can think of. Now drop some 8s if you can think of a successful person that doesn't have courage. And let me know who that is. I want to figure out who that is. I don't know successful people without courage, right? In anything. So if I know that it's going to take some courage to be successful, and I say that I want to be successful, then what do I have to do? I got to overcome that thing, or I'm going to end up just like everybody else, right? I got to overcome that thing, or I got to end up like everybody else. If I want to be a chef, what am I going to do? I'm going to study cooking. I'm going to study other chefs. I'm going to study recipes. I'm going to study food. If I want to be a lawyer, I'm going to study law. I got to go to school, right? If I want to be successful, I got to study successful people, and I got to do what it is that they do. I got to have what it is that they have here, not physically. I'll get it physically if I have it here, right? So that's the message for today, right? Don't try to acquire a bunch of knowledge and don't put any action behind it. But you're only going to put action behind it if you believe in yourself. And that's in that trade account. That's getting on the charts. That's actually studying. That's actually picking up the phone and talking to people. That's going check. None of us have done all that we're capable of yet. None of us. But at least take the first steps and try. Set those daily minimums. Set those goals for yourself. Go out there. Just see what you're capable of. Most of us don't know what we're capable of because we've never done all that we can do. We haven't even done a portion of all that we can do. And we wonder why something's not working yet, right? When you see these top chairmen, when you see the top traders, when you see people in any business, any industry, what do? They went all in, right? So ask yourself, what are you going to do different today? Ask yourself that question, right? Ask yourself that question each and every single day. Each and every, not just every day, every hours throughout the day. What is the most valuable use of my time right now? Right? So it's 12:04 Eastern Standard Time. I want you to go out there, ask yourself that question right now. We about to get off this call. Ask yourself, what is the most valuable use of my time? Is the most valuable use of my time getting off this call trying to look for a trade? Or is the most valuable use of my time picking up the phone and talking to somebody? And that's a conversation that can lead me to $1 million a month. That one conversation that I'm about to have, right? Talk to that person in your back office. Talk to that person that you signed up that you haven't talked to in months. You haven't talked to in weeks. That person that might have went inactive. That person that might not be believing in themselves. Maybe just picking up the phone can really help them with their belief. Maybe you're the person that needs to pick up the phone and call somebody else because you don't believe in yourself, right? What is the best use of your time right now? So I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Today's Thursday. We got a 2 and 8 o'clock opportunity call. Let's go ahead and make the best use of our time by getting people in front of this information that can change their life. Because if you made $1, if you learned one thing from this academy, whether you made money, whether you traded demo, whether you learned something new since you started, you have enough information to not be selfish and go out there and help somebody, right? To go out there and change somebody else's life. It's not your job to change your life. It's your job to introduce them to the information that can change their life, right? That's really it. So I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. 2 and 8 o'clock today. We got our beginner set up at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we got Skittles tonight at, I want to say it's 9:30, 10 o'clock, 9:30. I think it's 9:30. It's 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock. They're saying 9. All right, 9 o'clock. Skittles at 9 o'clock. All right. So that's all the calls we have for today. Make sure you check in the group, Discord chat. Everything is canceled. All right. Cancel for we got the company call at 9 o'clock p.m. And we got the shout out to everybody that is going to be in Atlanta, getting there today, getting there tomorrow, whenever you get there for the Dream Convention. Make sure you guys get there safe, right? If you weren't able to get to Atlanta, they did release online tickets so you can actually watch the virtual convention. So there is no reason that every single person inside of this community should not have a ticket to be able to attend this event, right? If you are not there in person, it's posted inside of Discord. We dropped it earlier today. It should be, hold on, I'm about to put it right here, rtp.live. I just dropped it in the chat. We also dropped it inside of Discord as well. So click that link. Everybody should make sure, right, that they get their ticket, because there is literally absolutely no reason that everybody can't be there because it's virtual now. So it ain't no excuses. No excuses. If you're not there, you just know, hey, you don't want it. You don't want it. The top traders, the top educators, the top chairman inside of the company, including the CEO, will be in attendance. You don't want to miss this. But yes, Chris Terry is speaking tonight at 9 o'clock. So definitely, and make sure you have the Master Mentor package, right? Make sure you have access to the Master Mentor series. He's also going to be on at 4 o'clock with Bob Proctor on the Master Mentor series in Go Live. You can add that in your back office. It's only $30. Bob Proctor doesn't sell anything less than $1,000. This is the one thing that he sells for $30. We get access to him 4 times a week. So definitely make sure that you're taking advantage of that mentorship. Last week he had Bryce Thompson on. Before, he's had all the top chairmen. This week he has our CEO on there. So definitely make sure that you are in attendance for that. You got to be, we just talked about it. You got to be around the people having the success it is that you want. If you can't pay $30 to hear from people who, a guy who spent $10 million, dropped $10 million on a penthouse off a phone call, like, I don't know what your goals are, but if you want to have just a percentage of that, you want to be in the same place that this man is at all times. So I'll see y'all at the top, because the bottom is way too crowded, and I'll never look down on you unless I'm willing to pick you back up, but you got to want to get up there too.